All right, Shalom. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we give our praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Kodash, Ba'akatham. Give honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and to our across the globe, pushing the word of truth and in sincerity. We want to say Shalom. So, Diane Noah from the great millstone camp of Cleveland, with a scripture today. It might be a lesson, I'm not sure. Actually, more precepts are coming, but speak to Father Abba, But this is what came in my mind first. Proverbs 3 and 5 was a very popular scripture, and we have to, just the facts, and, we sometimes can deceive ourselves by thinking things are one way and they're another, all right, but we put everything through the scriptures, all right, and we execute righteous judgment, all right. It says, Proverbs 3 and 5, it says, trust in the Lord Yahweh with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thy own eyes, for fear the Lord and depart from evil. It says trust in the Lord with all thine heart. A lot of times, we get put in a situation where things look bleak, things look insurmountable, the odds look insurmountable. Some of the blocks look like they cannot be hurdled over, going around or going under, man. But we have Yahweh Shem Shai, all right, as our leader, as our example, all right. Scriptures talk about trusting in the Lord, all right. Trusting in the Lord is allowing him to take control in situations and circumstances where things are not easily seen to be fixed. Sometimes you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but you trust in the Lord, he's going to guide your way. He's going to direct your steps. All right, there's nothing too big or too small that the Lord cannot conquer for us, man. All right, how about Shmi Shai has said that the scriptures say, I believe in the writing of Paul, that we are more than conquerors, man. All right, and leaning to your own understanding is really cutting the Lord short, counting the Lord short, putting him in a box. Being subjected, being obedient to Yahweh Shemi Shai and trusting him, all right, you can do things that you may have not expected yourself to do just by trusting in the Lord and not thinking that the obstacles are too big, So in all our ways, acknowledge him and he shall direct our paths, right, man? You got to sit back and let the Lord work and do his thing, Yahweh Shem Shai is the author and finisher of our faith, and if we believe that, all right, we're going to follow him. You see? And knowing that he's there to guide us and to lead us in the right path, even though we're going to have certain temptations, certain circumstances, certain downs, lows, and highs and lows in the truth. You see? But the Lord says he's always with us even until the end. Okay? So be not wise in our own eyes. Fear the Lord, Yahweh, and depart from evil, man. Right, man. Leaning to your own understanding can make you prideful. Let me see what I said. All right, let's get this. All right, because we got to be sure that be careful that we're not being over wise. All right. We can also, we can get to the point sometime where we get too big for our britches, man. And think that we cannot be checked. All right. There's this is Romans 12 and 16. It said, "Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits, man." All right, we supposed to have the same mind one toward another. All right, our brotherly love, that charity. All right, that meekness, that humility. All right, those are the signs, those are the attributes that men of the Lord are going to have, and they're going to show those things to one another. All right, and there's certain things that we are to focus on more than others, man. All right, loving the Lord, doing the work. All right, some things are just not meant for us to understand. Some things are not meant for us to be revealed at certain times, man. You know, so our job is to feed the flock, take heed of the flock, what the flock needs, what the flock is lacking, what the flock is growing strong in, man. All right, let's not be heady and high-minded just because we know the truth. You know, the truth is a great treasure that we have. All right, and we know all things, but don't let pride puff you up. You know, don't let pride puff. This is get this. But knowledge, it's not pride. It might be knowledge. It is knowledge. I'm tripping. You know, because we tend to play things out in our mind. All right, that because we know the truth, we can act a certain way. We can exclude certain things. All right, and that's a very dangerous way to be, because you can get to the point that we can justify your actions by using scriptures, man. All right. So 1 Corinthians 1:8 or 8:1 says, now touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth, man. All right, so we know that this place is wicked. We know that our food is defiled. All right, we know that um, um, these witches and warlocks they're setting spells. They're creating creating. They're making uh, what's the word I want to use, man? You have the left hand side working, man. All right, and they're in every aspect of our life, and we know these things, man. All right, and sometimes our knowledge, our understanding of certain things allows us, can make us be over righteous. It can make us be prideful when we're talking to people who are of a lower degree, or lower state, or who are not in the truth. You know, and just know that we were also like them in the world, man. Okay, not knowing nothing. You see, but the men that we have come to grow up under, starting with the elders and apostles in our respective camps, hey, they took the time to labor with us. You know, not being puffed up with pride, not leading to their own understanding. Because some things are not always as they appear. You know. Um, let me see. Let me see. Let's get this. With Solomon 9:16. Let's start at 13. But what man is he that can know the counsel of the Most High? Who can think what the will of the Lord is, man? All right. Lord. Lord says you can have mercy on, man. All right. Sometimes we can get caught up in what we would do or how we react. All right. But who knows the mind of the Lord, man? That's why a lot of times, the judgments don't go how you want them to go sometimes. Sometimes the spirit might want a brother to be kicked out. Sometimes the spirit might want a brother to get rebuked. All right? For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, their devices are but uncertain. Right, man? The thoughts of mortal men are miserable, right? Because we have a mind, sometimes we get to the point, we get, in our walk that, you know, um, it seems like we're waiting a long time. It seems like things are not ever going our way, and that you messed up, or miscarried, or fell short. That your mind condemns you, man. You're worried about the things that may or may not happen. Those things weigh you down, man. But a corruptible body presses down the soul, and the earthly tabernacle weighs down the mind that muses upon many things. And we have this mind, this brain, this beautiful computer, all right, that the Lord has given us, okay? And it's always wondered, hey, your brain never shuts off. Okay, it's always working. It's always analyzing and analoging and categorizing things in our brain. All right, you see, we have in ourselves that spirit. Okay, that spirit that dwells in us. You see, it's bombarded with earthly and carnal desires, questions that we cannot answer at times, man. You know, some things are just meant for us to know in the kingdom, man. We don't know who the elect are, but we have examples in the scripture of what the elect may be doing, man. They're going to be out on the highways and the byways doing lessons, putting a video, doing the work. You see? We should be more worried about the things that attain to salvation and what we could do, to receive salvation and avoid punishment, man. We're not worried about the dinosaurs and, certain mysteries of the scriptures. They're not yet revealed, man. We don't know what Leviathan looks like, man, or Behemoth. You see, but we do know that they exist. We do know that the missiles are going to be here. They're going to hit. You know. Sometimes we could think about things that are non essential to us to salvation. Verse 16, and hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon the earth, and with labor do we find the things that are before us, the things that are in heaven, who have searched out. You know. So there's a lot of things that we think we know that we don't know, man. All right, and the secret thing belongs to the Most High, man. All right, and the thing that the Lord allowed to reveal to us, the Lord gave us they gave the elders and apostles the Spirit and brothers the Spirit to dig into secular history, archaeology, and these different books. And brothers have labored and done lessons and toiled excessively to bring these things to light to further, like the scriptures don't need no validation or substantiation, but further prove the scriptures, man. You know? But the things that's in the heaven, what the angels look like, all right, all their jobs, and those beasts that say holy, holy, holy. Hey, those things are a mystery. Those things are kept in secret, man. All right, we can't even figure out certain things that are on the earth, man. How deep the water is, or how much the earth weighs, because the earth has mass and has a weight, But certain things are just belong to the Most High, man. Okay. Um, let me see. Oh shit, Slovakia. I'm gonna pause this.